no matter what happens. Most people will never feel your pain, not because they're cruel, but because they're too consumed by their own lives to truly enter yours. Think about it. You spill your heart out, expose your fears, your struggles, your darkest moments. And what do you get? A nod, a sigh, maybe a pat on the back. Then life moves on like you never mattered. The world doesn't owe you empathy. It doesn't owe you attention. It doesn't care. And that is the first brutal truth most people refuse to face. But here's the part nobody warned you about. Realizing this truth isn't depressing. It's awakening. Because the moment you stop expecting people to carry your pain, you start to carry yourself. Carl Jung believed that most suffering becomes unbearable not because of the pain itself, but because we feel unseen inside it. We want someone to understand. We want someone to validate it. We want a witness to prove that our struggle means something. Yet the world keeps moving. People return to their routines, their problems, their private storms, and you're left alone with the weight you hoped someone else might lift. It feels cold, it feels unfair, but it's reality. And reality, when accepted, creates power. Most people never reach this point. They waste years begging for sympathy, searching for someone to get it, trying to convince the world that their pain is special, deep, unique. They drain themselves, hoping someone will finally look at them and say, "I understand." But here's the truth. Even the person who loves you most can only see a shadow of what you carry. They don't feel the pressure in your chest. They don't hear your thoughts at night. They don't walk through your memories, your regrets, your fears. Only you do. And that's why this realization hits so hard, because it forces you to confront the one person you've been avoiding, yourself. But this is where the shift begins. When you stop expecting the world to understand your suffering, you stop living for approval, you stop explaining yourself, you stop shrinking your life down to fit inside someone else's attention span. You finally stand alone. And standing alone is where every powerful transformation begins. Jung believed that true strength is born the moment you accept the loneliness of your path. Because in that loneliness, you meet the parts of yourself you've ignored. You meet your resilience. You meet your clarity. You meet the version of you that doesn't break the moment the world turns away. Pain becomes a teacher, not a prison, a forge, not a burden. And the silence you once hated becomes the space where your real identity starts to form. This is the first step, accepting that no one will ever fully carry your pain, and realizing that you don't need them to. Your suffering is not a chain, it's a doorway to a level of inner power most people never find because they spend their whole life running from this truth. Here's the part most people never understand. The world isn't cruel because it ignores your pain. The world ignores your pain because it's drowning in its own. Everyone you meet is fighting a silent battle. Battles they'll never confess, battles they barely survive, battles you'll never see. And this is where the truth becomes clearer. It's not that people don't care about you, it's that they don't have the capacity to. Not fully, not consistently, not in the way you secretly hope. Think about the last time you were struggling. Really struggling. You looked around and thought, why isn't anyone noticing? Why doesn't anyone ask what's wrong? But now, flip the script. How many people around you were quietly breaking while you were focused on your own storm? How many tears did you never see? How many fears did you never detect? How many people did you walk past, unaware that they were collapsing inside? This is the paradox. You expect others to sense your suffering, but you rarely sense theirs. This is why Jung said that the human psyche is built around self-preservation first, empathy second. Not because we're heartless, but because survival demands attention, and this applies emotionally just as much as physically. When you're in pain, your mind turns inward. Your world shrinks, your focus narrows. So does everyone else's. So when you wait for people to save you, what you're really asking is for someone to step out of their pain and into yours. Almost no one has the strength to do that. not consistently. But here's where this becomes powerful. If everyone is consumed by their own struggle, if everyone is too busy fighting their own demons, if everyone is too overwhelmed to fully care about your pain, then why are you still waiting for them? Why are you still hoping for a rescue that isn't coming? Why are you still holding your life hostage, expecting someone else to give you permission to heal, to grow, to move? The world isn't cold. It's just full of people trying to survive. And the sooner you accept this, the freer you become. Because suddenly, you stop taking things personally. You stop assuming neglect means rejection. You stop seeing silence as abandonment. You understand the world for what it is, a place where everyone is struggling quietly behind the mask they wear. And then something amazing happens. You stop waiting for someone to care, and you start caring for yourself. You stop asking, "Why doesn't anyone check on me?" and start asking, "Why do I keep abandoning myself?" You stop seeking emotional rescue and start building emotional independence. This shift is where real growth begins. Jung believed that the moment you stop chasing external validation, you reconnect with the self, the deeper, wiser part of you that knows exactly who you can become. You start to rise not because someone lifted you, but because you decided to stand. And that's what most people never experience, because they remain trapped in the same cycle. Hurt, wait for validation, feel ignored, hurt again. Break it, and you become someone different, someone stronger, someone freer. Let's now go deeper into the part almost everyone avoids: how your pain becomes power the moment you take full ownership of it. Here's the truth most people never discover. Pain only destroys you when you refuse to own it. The moment you claim it, fully, without excuses, without blaming anyone, it transforms, it sharpens you, it hardens you, it builds something inside you that comfort never could. Most people run from their pain. They distract themselves. They bury it under noise, entertainment, work, relationships, anything to avoid sitting with the uncomfortable reality of who they are and what hurts them. But Jung insisted that what you avoid doesn't disappear. It grows. It becomes the shadow. And the shadow controls you from the dark, shaping your decisions, your habits, your desires, your fears, all while you pretend you're fine. But something extraordinary happens when you finally stop running and face it. When you sit with your pain without numbing it. When you acknowledge the truth of what you feel. When you stop blaming the world for not noticing. Your pain stops being a wound. It becomes a weapon. You begin to see what that suffering has taught you. Discipline, clarity, humility, awareness, emotional strength. Pain strips away illusions. It forces you to look at yourself honestly, without filters. It shows you what actually matters. It reveals who stays when everything collapses, and who was only there for the good times. Pain is merciless, but it's honest, and honesty is where real transformation begins. Think about your darkest moments, the times you thought you wouldn't make it, the nights you felt completely invisible, unheard, forgotten. You survived them. You walked through fire that others would have collapsed under. You endured storms that no one witnessed, no one praised you for, no one acknowledged. And yet, here you are. Do you realize what that means? It means your strength isn't theoretical. It's proven. It means your resilience isn't potential. It's earned. It means your power didn't come from comfort. It came from pain. Jung believed that a person becomes powerful not when life gets easier, but when they stop expecting it to. When they stop waiting for someone to validate their struggle. When they accept that the responsibility to grow is theirs alone. And this is where everything changes, because once you own your pain, once you use it instead of avoid it, once you let it carve out a stronger version of you, no one can take that strength away. No failure can erase it. No rejection can break it. No loss can destroy it. You stop being fragile. You stop being dependent. You stop being controlled by circumstances. You become someone solid, someone unshakable, someone who doesn't fall apart the moment the world turns silent. And if this message is hitting you right now, if something in you is waking up, shifting, getting sharper, then you're aligning with exactly the kind of mindset this channel is built for. So before we dive into how to transform emotional wounds into the source of your purpose, take a second to subscribe. Not out of obligation, but because you know this is the kind of truth you've been needing, the kind of truth most people never hear. Most people don't realize this. The pain you carry isn't random. It's not meaningless. It's not some cruel punishment thrown at you by life. Pain is directional. It points somewhere. It reveals something. It exposes what your destiny is quietly trying to tell you. Jung believed that whatever wounds you is also what awakens you, and if you pay attention, really pay attention, your suffering becomes a map, a blueprint, a compass pointing toward the exact place you're meant to grow. Think about the situations that hurt you the most, the betrayals, the rejections, the failures, the losses, the moments that broke your sense of identity. Each one didn't just hurt, it showed you what matters. It showed you what you value, what you fear, what you avoid, what you crave. Pain is information, pain is signal, pain is direction, but most people never decode it. They repeat the same patterns, chase the same relationships, fall into the same traps, because they never sit with the message hidden inside their wounds. Let me tell you something few people ever realize. Your pain reveals your mission. If you grew up feeling invisible, your mission is to develop presence, confidence, and self-expression. If you were betrayed, your mission is to learn discernment, boundaries, awareness. If you were rejected, your mission is to build inner worth that doesn't depend on validation. If you failed repeatedly, your mission is resilience, patience, mastery. Your suffering isn't random. It's tailored. It's specific. It's shaping you into someone capable of carrying a heavier destiny. But here's the twist. It only becomes purpose when you stop running and start listening. Jung said that people don't find meaning by chasing pleasure. They find it by confronting their deepest wounds, because your wounds reveal the exact place where your power is sleeping. When you turn toward your pain, you start to see patterns you've ignored for years. You start to understand why certain people hurt you, why certain experiences repeat, why certain emotions rise again and again. This is your unconscious trying to get your attention, trying to teach you something, trying to push you into a level of maturity most people never reach. And once you decode that message, once you understand what life has been trying to tell you through the pain, something shifts. The suffering that once crushed you becomes fuel. The wounds that once weakened you become insight. The loneliness that once scared you becomes clarity. Purpose isn't found in comfort. It's forged in struggle. Your path is shaped not by what feels good, but by what awakens you, and whether you know it or not. Something in you is waking up. Something deep. Something dangerous. Something powerful. Because once you realize that your pain is not the enemy, it's the guide, you stop resisting your path. You start walking it with intention. Let's now complete the transformation. Let's explore how embracing this truth changes your entire identity and turns you into someone unrecognizable from who you once were. There comes a moment, quiet, subtle, almost invisible, when everything you've been through finally makes sense. The suffering, the silence, the isolation, the disappointments, they stop feeling like random cruelty. They start feeling like training, preparation, initiation. This is the moment Jung spoke of. The moment the old self collapses and the new self steps forward. Because once you stop waiting for others to understand your pain, once you stop collapsing every time the world turns its back, once you stop seeking validation for your suffering, a different version of you begins to emerge. A version that no longer breaks under pressure, a version that no longer depends on applause, a version that no longer chases people who can't carry your weight. You become someone who stands solid in your own identity, not the identity others gave you, Not the version of you shaped by your wounds, but the version of you shaped by what you did with those wounds. This is what Jung meant by individuation, the process of becoming whole. Not perfect, not painless, whole. A person who integrates their darkness instead of hiding from it. A person who uses their suffering instead of being buried beneath it. A person who no longer needs the world to care because they finally care for themselves. Your resilience becomes your foundation. Your clarity becomes your direction. Your pain becomes your authority. Most people never reach this point. They spend their whole lives running from themselves, trying to bury their wounds under noise and distraction. They wait for someone to save them. They search for external meaning. They never realize the truth. Your pain was the path. Your pain was the teacher. Your pain was the message. And now, you're beginning to understand it. Look at who you are right now. Listening to this message, absorbing every word, feeling something in you shift, settle, awaken. That's not weakness. That's awareness. That's evolution. That's your future self pulling you forward. You're not who you were 6 months ago. You're not who your past believes you still are. You are not defined by the people who couldn't see your worth. You're becoming someone new, someone aligned with their purpose, powered by their pain, guided by their inner strength. And this is only the beginning. If this entire series spoke to you, if it opened something in you, if it made you see your pain differently, make sure to stay with us from now on. You know what to do. It's not for me, but for you. For the part of you that's growing, for the part that knows you're meant for more, for the part that refuses to stay asleep. There are more truths ahead, more awakenings, more shifts waiting for you. So take the step, join the journey, and keep becoming who you were always meant to be. Let that settle before you move forward.